moviegoers, and welcome to Woodstock Television, the first interactive news program of its kind. We got an exciting show for you today. We're going to repeat a coverage we've been doing lately on fence stock, which is the new fence that was built at the Como property and the controversy that surrounds it. And Steve Burkamp will be reporting on that with Action News. We also have today Adam Pollock, who recently ran for school board. He's the young guy, and he's gonna share with us everything that happens. I'm being told I need to use the white microphone. Yep. Can we get that camera over on me? I think it's that guy. Also today, Kambiz Khazravi is going to talk about the farmers market, and he even made a little film about it, and we're going to get to watch that. So let's start out with our little clip. Let's play on D. This is a video. This is Action News, which will be coming with you every week. This week we're talking about the fence. Next week we're going to be talking about the animal control officer that's going to be making sure people keep their dogs on a leash. So here we go. This is Action News.
The Ulster County's second best news source. This is Action News. With Steve Burkamp doing what it takes to beat the odds. Chasing down the story. Keeping you updated on your community. Getting the news to you. And now, Channel 23's Action News.
Woodstock's Como property seems to be a haven from the stress of daily life. Often heralded as the town's central park, the property serves as a soccer field and as a dog run. A great bicycle trail and just a darn good place to go for a stroll. Until now. Fence stock. Now reporting, Steve Burkamp.
Channel 23 Action News brought to you, Steve Burkamp, on location. Fence stock. Oh, wait. Big issue. Fence at Como property. Why is it here?
Residents.
Let's get some feedback from local residents on the new fence here at Como property. So how long have you been walking your dog in this community?
About 2 years now.
And where do you live?
Here in Woodstock.
Now, are you really from Woodstock or West Hurley? Because there's a new motion to make the Como property only available for local Woodstock residents. How do you feel about that?
Well, since I actually live off of Glenford-Wittenberg, which is considered Glenford, it's not considered Woodstock, I guess I would have a problem with that because, in my opinion, I consider myself a Woodstock resident.
And what do you think about the new fence?
I don't really see what its purpose is, but besides the fact that it is a fence.
Why do you think this fence was built?
And I have no idea why. There's no sign or anything, and it doesn't seem to be blocking anything, so I don't know. Maybe it's for horse jumping.
Well, the official reason is because of cars supposedly were being parked on this field.
I've never seen any people parking on this field, so I'm surprised they put the fence there and not over there, where usually people park on the lawn. So.
But I do see one row of tracks here.
But those were most likely made by the guy who built the fence.
They spent a little under $1,000 to build this fence here at the Como property.
The issue with the fence is, first of all, we're stewards of the property, and it's open for the public most of the time. And the fence was somebody's idea to put in there. Jeff and the highway superintendent talked about it together, I believe. And it was pretty much a unilateral decision. It didn't come before the board. And Jeff's idea was that he's got a perfect right to do it. To make these decisions up to under $1,000. And the board, some of the members of the board, their feelings were that, including myself, that we should have been consulted because this is a very sensitive piece of property. Very sensitive piece of property. And there is a litigation on the property. It's been in litigation, this property, for 4 years. And we want to make sure nothing interferes with that. And there's been a number of changes on the Como property that we're not too thrilled about. And I don't know what else is being planned. And I just hope that whatever is being planned comes before the whole town board before anything else is done.
Excellent. Thanks, Mr. Collins. Let's get some more feedback on the situation here in Woodstock.
How do you feel about the new fence here? Do you like it or not? Uh-huh. Yes. Do you enjoy walking here to the Como property? And how do you feel as a resident of Glenford, Wittenberg Road, not officially the town of Woodstock, how do you feel that you may not be allowed to walk on this property for much longer? You heard it here, folks. Yeah, that's great. You get that?
What would be a small issue in any other town is a big issue here.
Because the surest way to divide a community is build a fence. Back to you, Dave.
Oops. Where are we? We need to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so there we go. Unfortunately, we're being told that perhaps there wasn't very good sound quality on that video, unfortunately. That's a problem. But hey, look who we got. So right now I have with me Adam Pollock. So could we get a zoom out here to see Adam Pollock? Anybody on the cameras? Hey, Adam. So thanks for coming on the show today. Yep. That's awesome. So let's hear about your story. Why did you decide to run for school board?
Well, I'd been involved in the school in a lot of different ways. The one that I got that basically put me here was the Student Affairs Council, and we have a structure for, we have a board representative who goes to the board and sits on the board, but they don't get a vote. And as the secretary, I took down a lot of documentation. The only information we really received from the administration all year was the plans for the 5-8 middle school. And slowly I got involved, and then one day I went on the school website and saw that there were petitions available for being on the school board, and realizing that I had just turned 18, I decided to pick one up.
And you did need to be 18 to run. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so this representative, were you fighting to get him a vote on the council?
We weren't specifically, because it would offset like there's 7 board members, so if he were to get a vote, there'd be 8 votes, and then it wouldn't really work.
Because you could have ties.
Plus, I mean, to vote, you should really be elected directly by the people. That's what I believe. I believe people shouldn't be acting as trustees; they should be acting as delegates, and they should really be voted in by the people.
Yeah, I hear that. So, how many votes did you end up getting?
I got 739 votes. I placed 8th, which was last. Every person received 4 votes, and although I did get last, I took 5th place in Shandaken and 5th place in Woodstock, which shows that those towns supported me.
Well, that's great. And you yourself are a Woodstock resident?
Yes. I live right around the corner from the community center. I've lived here almost all my life. I was born in Rhinebeck, but we moved here shortly after, and I went to Ontario School District over 11 years out of my 13 years of education. So.
Well, that's great. I think it's amazing when you get young people involved in the political process, and that you got that many people to vote for you and take you seriously is huge.
Well, it's even huger because I ran my campaign on $320. Most other candidates ran theirs ranging between $1,500 and $3,000.
Yeah, actually, the Save Our Schools Coalition, I saw that they must have raised a huge amount of money.
Yeah, I was talking to them. I think between the 4 of them, they spent $6,500. So that's about $1,600 apiece.
So $6,500. That's it.
Yeah.
I would have figured that they spent more, because it just seemed like they had these huge signs everywhere, and they had a huge truck out there.
Yeah, well, most of their money went to the signs, but a lot of that publicity came through the newspapers and just through word of mouth. That was my biggest gain of votes, was word of mouth.
Now, with running for school board, do you have to account for your finances?
You do if you expend more than $500. Because I didn't expend over $500, I didn't have to create an expenditure statement. But if I did, I would have had to submit that to the clerk of the school, and she files that. It's probably public information.
And then you would have had to start a committee to elect Adam Pollock.
I'm not sure if I necessarily needed a committee. It would have been really beneficial. But I chose to do this really independently. I didn't join a voting bloc for the reason that I felt giving an independent voice was was really a major concern of a lot of people. So.
How did you raise the money that you did?
It was donated by 4 different people. The first was the Antioch Teachers Association. They donated to 7 out of the 8 candidates, which was $100.
Who did they not benefit?
I'm not sure. It was probably someone who just refused it. Mm-hmm. They said they didn't want to be biased, so they gave $100 to each candidate. I received $100 from Dan Siegel, who is the father of a girl in my grade, and he was actually one of my first donators. He was really supportive. Another $100 came from Phil Warshaw, who's also a resident, I believe, of Woodstock. And then I received $20 from Larry and Gillian Beinhardt. They live up on Birdcliff.
Oh yeah, are they related to Larry?
Yeah, Larry.
Okay,
Beinhardt.
I see. Yeah, he's a big fan of me. So, what was your platform? What were your main points that you were running on?
Well, originally when I joined, I wanted the 5 through 8 middle school. I felt that consolidation was a good idea, but I didn't realize that it had closing Phoenicia attached to it and public outcry attached to it. So I quickly switched sides.
And perhaps closing Woodstock Elementary as well.
Yeah, well, by the end of the process, they said they wouldn't close Woodstock, but at the beginning, that was also talk. But that didn't really influence me. It was the fact that they were closing any elementary schools
at all.
Yeah, because they really tie the community together, specifically because Phoenicia's elementary school is right around the corner from the center of their town. And people that work in the town should be able to get their kids quickly after work or things like that. You really need that school there. Plus, the way the district was formatted, you'd be sending kids from the town of Lexington, which is even farther away, all the way to Bennett Elementary School. And I think shipping a 5-year-old on a bus that far is not right. I also think
it doesn't make sense too with the current global warming crisis. We're going to use less fuel rather than more.
Yeah.
So. Before you were telling me that you were a big supporter of the Indie program, correct?
Yes, I was not an Indie student. I didn't participate in any Indie activities, but I do advocate it. I saw that a lot of kids were really benefited by it. My one friend who has attention deficit disorder, it really made him pay attention because he was in a smaller independent learning environment where he could really learn a lot of the skills that he probably wouldn't in regular school. I just feel that you really need an alternative program. BOCES is a little too expensive, and because it's so close to the school and it's run by people who aren't officially, they're kind of salaried by the school. But I just feel that the Indie program is really good for anybody that needs an alternative learning style.
I noticed something about the other candidates is that they seem to really just focus in on the infrastructure and on the money, but they didn't talk a lot about education and doing things differently in schools.
Well, I mean, I know they didn't talk a lot about it because the main concern of the public was the schools and the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that all these people were running for a job that pays nothing, and they all 7 of them, besides myself and 8, including myself, all really care about education. I don't doubt that any of them weren't in it to benefit the education of the children. Sure. They just have their different views of how to educate the children better.
I currently actually work as a public high school teacher, all the way in Arlington, so it's not great for the environment that I have to drive out there. But something that I realize working in the schools is we spend a lot of money running these public schools, and I think what they end up doing is less than educating students, is they end up teaching students to dislike learning. And I don't think they mean to do it, but it's a factor of having 30 kids in a classroom and 1 teacher. And how can 1 teacher give all those students attention?
Yeah, I agree with that too. That was another reason to not go to consolidation, is because with their consolidation plans of Bennett and Woodstock, they had a class maximum of, I believe, 27 in most classrooms, and that maximum was almost filled, so you have a couple more kids move in. That is 30 kids, per classroom, and if you divide that by, the 6 hours a day that they're in school, they're only receiving about 12 minutes of individualized education if you're going student to student. So
I actually figured it out the other day. I was doing the math. If I were to spend 5 minutes with each of my students, it would take just doing every day, don't even do a lesson, just spend 5 minutes with each student. It would take me 2 or 3 weeks to do that, to go through all my students.
Wow.
So it's impossible to give even 5 minutes of individual attention to each student in our public school systems. So I'm a big proponent for lowering class size.
I'm all for lowering class sizes, but you do have to focus on the financial part of it, because there are a lot of people in the school district that don't have school children, and the amount that the budget has gone up over the past decade is tremendous. I mean, we're now at, I believe, $48 million for our school district. So. Okay, last closing thought. I wonder, do you have any thought on homeschoolers? Any thoughts on homeschoolers? Homeschooling is really, an individual parent choice, but that wasn't really factored into the demographics of deciding to close Phoenicia Elementary School and the middle school. I believe that homeschooling is good as long as the parent who decides to homeschool their child is truly educating them, because they do, instead of getting 6 hours in a classroom with teachers and 29 other students, they're getting their social interaction, but by learning 6 hours with an individual adult, you're getting a better education than you could in a public school system, as long as the person that's educating you is educated.
Yeah. So lots of personal attention, not so much socialization. Well, thanks a lot, Adam. That's great. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention, this guy's dad is, who's your dad again?
Michael Pollock.
Michael Pollock, famous guy in town, seen him around my whole life, and now his son's a politician. All right. Thanks for coming. Let's have another applause. Okay, so now our next guest is Kambiz Khosraviev, local filmmaker and husband of town board member Liz Simonson. Okay, Kambiz. So today you're here to talk to us about a new event in town, aren't you?
Yes, it started last week. It was the beginning of the Farm Festival. The
Farm Festival, which is kind of a fancy way of saying a farmer's market, right? What's that farmer's market?
Well, it's not only vegetables and groceries, but also various other things of interest, singing, people performing.
We get less talking back there, please?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time concentrating here. Yeah, I can only do one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's right. We can't multitask.
Especially at my age.
We're not quite like computers yet.
Right, exactly. Am I coming in clear?
I think we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Anyways.
So the farmers market, one thing that surprised me about it when it happened was that they chose Wednesday rather than a weekend day. Do you know any of the background on that?
What I know, and I think common sense behind it, is that on the weekends there are more people here. Therefore, parking spaces is at a premium.
It always comes back down to those parking spaces, doesn't it? And the traffic as well.
Right.
And they closed the road, so.
Right. So Wednesdays made sense in the sense it's middle of the week, so there's not as much traffic, and also some businesses had misgivings about people not going to their shops.
So on the weekends.
On the weekends, if it was on the weekends.
It would seem to me that something like the Farm Festival brings in new people into town, and so that you would think the other stores in town would
I would imagine. Again, I'm not here as either an expert or a representative of the Farm Festival community. All I did was I took my camera there and recorded it, and I was, thank you.
We got the flowers, they're here. Can't talk about the Farm Festival.
Yeah, exactly.
About the flowers.
These two.
Yeah, one thing I was hoping. So I did notice when I went the last 2 weeks, there weren't really that many vegetables there. And I suppose this is because it's just too early in the season.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to a farmer and they said that it was too cold. Because we've had some cold temperatures, and that's why we don't see as many, but it's coming.
Another problem that was noted was that some of the produce that was there was a little expensive. And again, I'm wondering if once things come into season, if we'll be able to get food that's a little cheaper.
Probably, yeah, because all of that probably was flown in from West Early.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I wonder too if some of the farmers are perhaps raising their prices a little bit because they know they can sell it a little more in Woodstock.
Well, since you have a camera and a reporter...
Yeah, we'll have to send Steve Burkamp Action News out there.
Exactly.
He's currently working on a different story. He's working on the story to the animal control officer. At Woodstock. They put the sign up saying that if you don't have documentation for your dog, this is neither here nor there. So the farmers market story might have to wait 2 weeks.
Well, what I'd like to bring this interview to a close is that when you ran as supervisor, that was one of the top things on your agenda.
Sure.
And I'm glad, even though that you were not elected, what was it, by 8 votes?
8 to 12, depending on whose votes you're counting.
Because I was really supporting you. And at least we got this through, and hopefully we'll get a lot of the other things that you support and a lot of Woodstockers do support.
Like the carbon neutral initiative,
exactly.
Which, no one's talking about it right now.
Exactly.
We're not really meeting anymore, and the Environmental Commission's not going there, so we really need to get the ball rolling on this because global warming is happening. We got to do something about it.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the video. How long is the video?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And is it have music in the background? And
it has music. It has a choir.
A choir, even.
Yes.
Oh, it was the bells, right?
The blue bells.
And I know that. Yeah, we're gonna watch it. A 20-minute video.
That's all right. The whole show.
It's okay.
Let's run the video.
Here we go.
Any second.
Yeah, maybe.
Just switch it to there, and then they'll.
Watch it start going in.
Sufficient to go many hours with our PA and our stage.
Solar powered.
So we're not on the grid. We're using the good old sun, reliable, and happy to do it.
How much you feel? Yeah, it's like a grand
Chamber of Commerce and Arts with wonderful funding from the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets, the generosity of Ned House, the Mowers, and each week we will add other restaurants and other activities, and in about 5 minutes I think Maurice will be ready to cut our ribbon and inaugurate this event, which took us quite some time to get into place. So thank you all, and I'd like to give the speaker the microphone to Pico, who's our Vice President.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. We really appreciate it. I would like to, of course, do the usual thing, which is to thank... Right behind the speaker. Stand right behind. Okay. Thank the people who helped make this happen. So I'm going to go through the list, and first of all, I would like to thank Cheryl Paff, our fearless leader, who this would not have happened without her support and drive and endless energy and amazing. Take my word for it. I'd also like to thank the board members, the Woodstock Town board members who were instrumental in getting this to happen and were very supportive. Jay Wank and Chris Collins, and they're both here. I would like to thank Ned House, who, without his help, this wouldn't have happened, and without his donation of this space. Dickie and Susan Goldman were just remarkable leaders and helped us with the machinations of the legality and also the grant. And John and Jeanine Maurer, who have participated with us in loaning their space to us for the market, for partial of their space. Excuse me, I'm not making any sense. Okay, let's see. Chelly Comer from the Woodstock Agricultural Council for the grant that we received from them. New York State Ag and Markets for their grant. Ulster County Tourism. And last but not least, all the dedicated committee members who worked tirelessly for the last year. You guys are awesome. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to work with you. Two more thank yous. Actually, more than two more thank yous. Our sponsors, WDST and TD Bank North, who are here. A special thank you to Liz Simonson, who's just been right there with us the whole way and has really gone above and beyond the call of duty. And we actually have this for you, Liz.
Come on. Our councilwoman in the trenches, I want to tell you.
Okay, and this gift, it's a photograph of the Amanita mushroom found in Ohio Mountain, and it was featured in the Glorious Mushroom Book by Frank Spinelli and donated by Frank Spinelli for this particular purpose. And he will also be here on Mushroom Day, June 25th. And last but not least, Congressman Hinchy, who has come to support us, and I'm hoping he will say a few words. And then we'll cut the ribbon. After Maurice speaks, we will cut the ribbon. Liz and Maurice will cut the ribbon.
Well, thank you very much. And, as I stand over here, the scene gets a lot prettier. Thank you very much for all of you for being here. I very much appreciate your interest in this. And I know that all of you have worked on this project and finally accomplished it. I know that the permit arrived just like 15 minutes ago. Yeah! So the timing was just absolutely perfect. I'm very proud and very happy to be here. I think it's important to express our appreciation to Houst for providing this space. I mean, this parking space is very valuable for their business, and giving it up this way, I think, is a great contribution that they are making, and I want to express to them my appreciation for doing it. Having a farmer's market is a wonderful thing for any community. I mean, first of all, agricultural products are the basic element of life of all kinds. I was about to say human life, but it's not just us. It's just about everything. Food and fiber is the essence of our living. And all of that, of course, is contributed by farmers. And to have a market where farmers can come and market their products that are freshly grown, all of that is very, very good. It's good for them, but it's also even better for the people who come to buy it, because they get the opportunity to enjoy those fresh agricultural products. We did some research on this. There are now more than 4,500 farmers markets all over the United States. They're very prolific here in New York. All 62 counties have them. We have them, as you know, in Kingston and Saugerties and a number of other places. But no matter where there is a farmer's market, all of those, more than 4,500 of them, all across America, there will never be another one that will have the kind of history, the kind of attraction, the kind of romance, the kind of wonder that can be found at the Woodstock Farmers Market. And that's why I'm sure so many people are going to come here. And when they come here, it will not be just for the benefit of the farmers and the farmers market. It will be, and according to the way farmers markets work every place else, it will also be for all of the businesses around. Farmers market will attract people. They'll buy something here, and then they'll go to a store or two and buy something there as well. So all of this is a very, very good thing. And I just want to thank you all for doing it. And I'm looking forward to buying farm products right here at the Woodstock Farmers Market. Thank you very much.
Here you go. It's kind of that's what we're going to go. Sorry.
I don't know.
Okay, Marie.
You want to?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's going to go. It's easy. Let's do it together. Yeah.
I'd like to remind you all that it's not just a farmers market, it's a farm festival. And in the Maoist field,
My name is Howard.
there's food being served by Oil 9 Cafe. There's events, there are children's events, there's a stage, there'll be music, and each week we'll add to those things. So please enjoy the festival, stick around, take advantage of the entertainment, and have a great time. Thank you all.
Just like that. Oh, yeah. All right.
But it's amazing.
There you go. A little bag.
So that's like, you know, it's an interesting
And what, just the onions? Hi, Carol. Hey, how are you? Great. Fine. Would you like a bag? She looks gorgeous. Thank you. I have a variety. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, sure. So actually, she'll do it.
Big thing is tea. I'm going in the front.
All I know is how to open a can. So what we use the vegetables for is the educators come and actually work one-on-one with them to teach them, well, this is beef, and here's what you do with beef. And they use the produce in the program. Philly's Fridge actually donates one whole share. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's wonderful that they have all the fresh vegetables and the food, and so many people came to try everything, and we had some very nice food that we tried out, and we're very happy with it.
Lovely to be here.
Well, what do you think about this?
So what are you holding in your hand?
This is a black-eyed Susan, and this is a morning glory, which were given to us for free from the Cornell extension here.
Absolutely wonderful. This is Woodstock at its best. I love coming here.
finally happening. I'm so proud of everybody that stood strong. It's going to be a great addition to our town this year. I'm so appreciative of what everybody's done and all the hard work. So the best of luck. We'll be here every Wednesday.
Of joy and happiness about this whole day. Everybody got sick of me announcing every single class. Extra buttons over there. This morning, I'm like, get over there.
Woodstock needs this, and it's been too long coming. I think being able to come and get stuff directly from the people who make it and grow it is a wonderful feature. Something we need more of.
I love it. I've never seen such people here on a weekday night. Fabulous. It is delicious. Scrumptious.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I think it's almost as good as the Woodstock Library Fair, which is coming up on July 26th. Everyone should come to that, too. This is a wonderful experience.
No. I mean, so...
Oh, hey, guys. You ever meet my wife, Laura?
No! Hey, Roscoe. Really nice to meet you, too.
Did you see that?
Julie.
Smacking me around.
You know,
The nice one.
Hi, Carol.
Delayed afternoon for you guys, right?
You can get free seats on the morning glories and black eyed
And we haven't seen people I haven't seen in 100 years. That's the best part for me.
Yeah.
The schmoozing. The best.
The bad times. That's what I say. Great. Wonderful. Came on.
How about you guys?
here.
It's such fun to come out in the evening and have a little party, right? It's lovely. I'm glad they're doing it.
Oh, they got jewelry there.
That enough? I'm happy. I'm glad to see my friends that I don't see very often.
Fabulous. The best ever. Hand down.
So blue skies are shining on me, nothing but blue skies do I see. It doesn't get much better than that, folks. Blue skies and farmers markets and vegetables. The asparagus is really good. The lettuce. I know we want other vegetables, but they're not growing yet, so we just can't have them till they're growing and harvesting. But up next, we have Jewel McGee, Egg Inc., going to play a tune for you. Jewel?
All right, thank you. I'm just here, a small part of the team, trying to hold things together while Journey Blue Heaven is away on educational leave, bringing us back all sorts of new things she's learned. And this one's for you, Journey. I wrote this one for my grandma.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm on this camera. Well, I decided tonight to talk about something that's very interesting and very important to all of you right now. Is a plant that helps with poison ivy, and of course it has its own merit. Jewelweed has a lot of merit on its own, but this is from the book by Yule Gibbons, Stalking the Hell for Herbs, which I highly recommend as a standby. And he also has written Stalking the Wild Asparagus and Stalking the Blue-Eyed Scallop, which I never read, but the asparagus one I have read.
What's blue-eyed scallop?
I have no idea, actually, but it must be important if he wrote a book about it. But anyway, jewelweed is, if anyone's seen it, jewelweed is an interesting little plant. It grows in wet areas, in places that have been disturbed. And the reason it's called jewelweed is the leaves are very waxy and water will beat up like jewels. And it also has a very audible snapping sound when the pods are ripe. They'll actually, if you brush up against them, it'll actually go snap and it'll pop up. But there's actually a slight picture of it. This is not in. The flowers tend to be about a golden orange color usually. And you can eat them. But what I'm going to talk about, which is, as a medicinal herb, it says jewelweed is chiefly noted as an emergency prophylactic against poison ivy. I've never heard that prophylactic, but a great many believe that if one has accidentally brushed up against poison ivy, rubbing the exposed part of the fresh jewelweed will keep any rash from developing. And this is because they grow in the same conditions, the same moisture conditions, same mineral content. It's believed that perhaps it helps to feign poison ivy. Now, he said, I've tried to make poison ivy lotion. This is by boiling down the roots. And actually, once you've been exposed, you can take a bath in this liquid. And supposedly, he says that anyone that's taken a bath in this liquid is very highly unlikely to get a poison ivy rash. But he said, I tried to make a poison ivy lotion similar to be sold commercially with indifferent success. When a pot full of jewelweed was covered and boiled down until about half with the original volume, the strained juice seemed to be effective for both preventing the rash after exposure to poison ivy and treating the rash after developed. However, the stuff would not keep. Even when kept in a refrigerator, it developed strange-looking hemispheres of mold after a few weeks. Those hemispheres of mold. But someone else figured out a way to deal with that, and which was freeze the liquid in ice cube form and keep it in your freezer, and that when you feel as though you've been afflicted or you've been around poison ivy, just pop out an ice cube and put it on. And he did say that he actually knew a guy that was a logger in a very heavily poison ivied area, and all of his men who used the stuff, except for that one guy that just thinks herbs are, a load of hooey, he was the only one that came down with a real bad rash. So I've heard of just taking the whole plant and boiling it down, and also taking the roots, which are of a red color, and boiling those down. So you need quite a bit of root, or quite a bit of, about a pound or so of the plant, which is quite light, so that's kind of a lot. But it's worth a shot if you want to take off your poison ivy woes.
When do you do that? What time of year do you do that?
Oh, right now. It's coming up. Wherever it is, whenever it is. The root or the actual stalk, you can actually break open and put it right on your skin, before or after, supposedly. I've had effects from before. It seemed to work. So that's it, folks. Hope you're having a wonderful time out there in reality land. Here in TV land, we're having a great time. But in the words of our lovely diva, don't let those who dance make the rules for you. Or get them to dance,
just make you warm. To be superior, I was never harm. What it was to make them different. What it wasn't just a hate. Rip it up and exercise. I hope it's not too late. It's the time to see things in a different light. Oh, right. Like we always have. It's the day to see things in a better way. Take pride and watch 'em walk away. Watch 'em walk away. I know it may sound pretty. I know to take a stand. You know the government will lend a helping hand. They are gonna educate you. They're gonna make you proud. They're gonna make it so you never let it down. It's just the time to see things in a different light. Oh, fight, always have. The day, the days in a watch 'em walk away. Watch 'em walk away. Just a little bit harder, a little bit longer, yeah. Just a little bit deeper, know what they teach you, yeah. Yeah, what they teach you, yes.